people are losing their property. A lot of people have not even thought about their insurance in line with security are really crying foul. So this morning, I want to introduce you to a company that's already thought about what you need to understand about your home security. And they're saying they're going to educate you around it. After the education part, they're also saying that all those solutions that we're talking about in this education part, we do have them. And so this morning, let's talk about your home security. And so now, for the purposes then of that particular conversation, I want to introduce you to SGA. I want to learn who they are. But then the man behind that particular conversation is a man that I'm happy to speak to. I've spoken to about this particular subject and a wide range of security issues. One, Jackson Bodia, who is the Chief Commercial Officer, SGA. How are you doing, sir?
Morning, Simba.
Happy to have you around. Even before we get to understand what it is that you want majority of East Africans and Kenyans and Africans in general, for any other person who is listening to this conversation to understand about personal or home security, could you introduce us to SGA in this particular conversation for security?
All right. Thank you, Simba, and thank you for having me on your show. SGA Security is actually probably one of the oldest security companies in the East African region. We've been around since 1969, so we're actually celebrating 59 years this year in July. We offer the full array of private security services. Guards that everybody sees, what we're now calling private security officers.
Yes.
We offer cash in transit, the movement of money and valuables from one location to another. And then we have an array of electronic security solutions. You've spoken about CCTV, access control, both for human traffic and for vehicles, into buildings, into various commercial establishments. We have fleet management solutions, so people who have fleets of vehicles can come to us and we help them with management, especially on the fuel side, which I know very many fleet operators have a concern with.
Yes.
And then we also provide security solutions for residential or home setting.
Does it?
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's a good thing that this morning we're essentially going to talk about home security. But before we get there, I mean, in terms of security, when we think about security, is an area that has essentially moved into a sphere the majority of people really have to understand afresh. We started with security guards, we started with security dogs. Where are we now when we're talking about security?
So the security landscape, especially for the domestic setup, has changed, as you rightly said, over the years. Security before was, in fact, it was not guard, it was watchman. It was watchman. There was someone who would stand at a gate or a door with a baton or a rungu, and that was considered to be top-notch security. Mm-hmm. Then we went into introduction of the security dogs, patrol dogs, the guard dogs, which was thought to be a higher level up because the dog can run faster than a man. When you're chasing a thief, let the dog go.
Let the dog go.
But what has also then happened is, as technology has developed, we came up with, we had the advent of CCTV, closed circuit television. And before, that was seen only to be appropriate for commercial setups, also because it was quite expensive. And what we've seen over the years is significant advancement in technology and the costs coming down considerably, but then also for the same sort of investment you would make, say, 10, 15 years ago, you find now that the features and the sort of the functionality of the solutions that are available today has significantly advanced. So in the home setting today, what was previously just considered only for commercial setup, we now have people in their own homes having closed-circuit television systems. Even before the CCTV, we had just alarm systems. What many might understand, or those who have alarm systems, I think they were called manual alarm systems, which is a panic button system. So you're in your house, it's 11 p.m. or 1 a.m. at night, you hear a noise outside, and you'll go to this device that has been installed on the wall, you will press it, and it triggers either an audible siren or it sends a signal through to your security company's control room, and they will send their response vehicle. It was that old system, that panic button. Once you pressed it, it was almost a one-time use for that incident case, because then it required to be reset.
Yes.
And we speak about it lightly now, but the truth is there are actually very many subscribers today that have had alarm systems for many years that are still operating in that old, dated technology platform. They have not had the benefit of upgrading the systems, purely because maybe they thought, one, it's expensive, or two, it's too cumbersome. So what we're saying is, no, it doesn't have to be expensive, and it should not be cumbersome for you to upgrade your existing alarm system, or for those actually who've never had alarm systems to actually consider having one. Yeah.
For a company that has been in this particular space in 1969, is a space that is really changing very fast to catch up with the current technology when it comes to security. Has it been an easy journey for a company that started with security when it was just a guard, a dog, a watchman, a vehicle, up to where we are right now, where we're talking about security systems that even integrated to personal devices? How's the journey been? Has it been catch up, or SGA has been among the early adopters of this technology that we're talking about?
It hasn't been easy. Like you said, any business that wants to remain relevant has to be, in certain instances, you're playing catch up, but we almost want to pride ourselves as being sort of market leaders. We want to be constantly even challenging ourselves, trying to identify what the gaps are in the market, what the needs of our customers are, and then coming in and developing solutions that speak to those needs in a proactive as opposed to a reactive manner. Yeah.
So let's talk about this new service then that you're essentially launching now into the Kenyan market. What advice is it? Because for any other product that you push into the market or service that you push into the market, there has to be this gap that you've seen that is existing. But when we talk about the pricing and exactly what informs this particular point, could you tell us why now? Is there any study behind it?
I'll not say there's been a study, but there's certainly a need that has been identified. And it's twofold. One, it's on account of even the queries we get from some of our existing customers, from prospective customers, but then also being that we're in the face of this security technology. We see it firsthand what the advancements are, and we see new solutions, new features that we feel are relevant to the Kenyan market.
Yes.
To our potential customers, and we want to avail these options to our customers. Yeah.
Is there a specific need when it comes to security for the Kenyan market, especially for home security?
I think there is.
Yes.
And again, it's twofold. So I would like to look at this from a perspective of customers who have had alarm systems, security solutions in their homes, say for a number of years.
Yes.
And then there's also a new segment of customers who are, based on their own financial or economic prosperity, have moved from, say, lower middle class into upper middle class, into upper class or the elite. You have your home, you've just started your family, you have young children. Obviously, you have the things you want, your television, personal items that you feel actually do need to be taken care of.
Yes.
What we're looking at is a solution that, and when you look at historically the alarm systems or the security solutions that were available before, they served you when you were at home.
Yes.
We are coming into the market and saying, we want to give you a solution that serves you when you're at home, but also when you're away from home. And what we're actually trying to put across is complete peace of mind for all our subscribers. Because one of the things, and I'll give you a small anecdote back to when I was much younger. Actually, I remember it was a year I was a KCPE candidate, and they had called us to the school for prayers. And it was, I remember we left, it was a Saturday morning. it was just the precursor to the exam starting. And they called us for prayers, and we locked up home. We used to live in Kilimani.
Yes.
And we locked up and went for the prayers. And came back 2 hours later to find that actually our house had been broken into. Yeah. And if I was to put that in the context of our home security solution today, back then would have had panic buttons in the house. But because we were not at home, those panic buttons were effectively useless.
Yes.
The panic buttons actually requires you to manually press it when you're physically in the house for it to actually activate a response. There was no CCTV back then. So we came back to find that the house had been burgled into. If you had what they call an automatic alarm system with motion detectors, for instance, so at the point that they breached the gate or the front door, it would have activated either a motion detector or a contact on the door to signal an alarm. That signal would have gone to the security control room's control center, and they would have dispatched a mobile response vehicle. But again, this was before mobile phones were common. So my father and my mom, us sitting in a church having this service ongoing, would not have been privy to what was going on up until we got back to the house. So best case is that the response company would have dispatched their mobile response team. They'd have hopefully caught the thieves in the act and apprehended them. But we'd only have come to know of this when we got back home because, there were no mobile phones at the time. Go fast forward some 20-something plus years later, and what we now have, and the solution that we're actually putting before the market is complete control, access, and visibility of your home whilst you're at home, but also whilst you're away from home. So to paint the same picture, with the solution that we're offering today for home security, and it encompasses a either panic alarm or intrusion detection system, and it includes CCTV.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a digital system, and the access of this solution is available on the subscriber's mobile phone. And not just maybe dad or mom, even your teenage kids, even the nanny. So you have this platform that's available for whoever, all the residents or the occupants of that house ideally have visibility and access to the platform. And so how does that work? When you all leave the house, you will arm the alarm system. And the monitoring of that system will be to our security control room.
Yes.
But you as a subscriber, wherever you are, as long as you have a smartphone that has an internet connection,
yes.
If there's any intrusion, so if the gate is forced or a door is forced or there's movement, mm-hmm. you get a notification on your phone immediately. So at the same time that we are getting the notification in our control room and dispatching our response team, which is also an integral part of the whole home security solution. There's actually somebody who comes in to help or to offer support in the event of a security threat. You also get the same notification. So you're aware of what is going on in your home at the same time that we as SGA become aware of the incident.
Yes.
And then additionally, and actually this is a plug for the subscriber over SGA, is the CCTV camera. You as a homeowner have access to live video feed. We choose to leave that purpose of privacy only for the subscriber. So the subscriber can actually see, okay, I'm seeing that there's an alarm, the front door has been breached, and the camera I have around that area, I can actually see, indeed, there is something happening in my house.
Yes.
And so you have video evidence of what actually transpired, even at the point that you go back to the police to make your report. If it turns into that, and actually show them, this is actually what happened at this time, and it's this person who did it. It's there for you as a subscriber, so it gives you a level of control that has historically not been there for the alarm subscriber.
Pretty much.
I always say it's also important that as a service provider, that my client has an ability to also check my performance. And I have worked in the private security sector for quite a while, and it's unfortunate there has been instances where a customer has an incident, they press the panic button, or they're not home, and the system will detect an intrusion. the signal goes through to the security company's control room, and for one reason or other, there is no response. So the insecurity or the act goes ahead, and the customer loses property, or it's a security issue.
Yes.
And when you then go back to your security company, they fall back to that but we never got the signal. You basically just you abandon the customer at their point of need, and you quickly fall back to, we never got the signal. In fact, it's your alarm system, because ordinarily what would happen is that the customer would buy the equipment, so it's their alarm system, and the security company comes and says, oh, ours is just the response, but we never got the signal. So we're sorry, but yeah, tough luck.
Does that? Mm-hmm. So I hear you through the entire process, and we're going to come and look at the specifics ones in the second part of our conversation on what you're actually offering them, even through the installation process. For any other person listening to you, you're stressing so much on the service as opposed to the equipment, and that's where my next question comes in.
Yeah.
I mean, because we're talking about home security now becoming a technology aspect, where you have technology companies who weigh in on it and they say, well, we offer you this as well for the security of your house and your personal property. How does yours become a service?
I think a service is the right way to look at it,
yes,
in the sense that security is not a commodity. You don't go and buy it and consume it thereafter and you're like, I'm done. Then when you finish it, you pick it up again.
Yes.
Security is part of our everyday, day-to-day living. You cannot, it's not, let me just put it bluntly, it's not going to buy bread. And the same way, and if I also like to look at a different scenario, financial management of your own money. Again, it's not a one-time thing. It's something that you go through your entire life, and you even go and contract the services of a financial advisor to help guide you through the changes, the ups and downs, the instances that come about that are shocks. So you consult a financial advisor. We have our doctors, medical health advisors, and you want a relationship with your doctor so that he understands your track history through and through. They can come in and see your life and advise what best suits your life and at whatever stage you're at.
Yes.
And security is the same thing. The one area that I think many people misunderstand is you can buy a CCTV system, you can buy an alarm system, you can buy an access control system, but that one-time purchase is not where it all ends. There is a recurrent cost to keeping this security system up and running. Preventive maintenance, like your car. You do not buy your car and then run it into the ground. It requires constant service to ensure that it serves you for as long a period as possible. So one of the things that we insist upon is that the equipment needs to be serviced to ensure longevity of it being able to serve our customers. But we also want to, the same way, and I'll deflect a bit and look at a different scenario. Mm-hmm. We know that we all require security. The same way we require power in our house. We require, nowadays, home internet is ubiquitous. Everybody has got it. But when you want home internet, you don't go and buy the entire fiber cable from your house back to the ISP's server room. When you require power in your house, you don't go and buy a transformer and a meter. All you do is simply get in touch with Kenya Power. I have a new residence, I require power. And effectively what we're doing is you hire the meter and they bill you on a monthly basis because you need power. The same thing with water. So what we'd call utilities, power and water, ideally security is the same thing. You need it for your own safety and comfort, but it's not necessarily something that it makes sense to buy. So use it as a service, and that is basically what we're putting or we're making available for our customers. Then instead of going and investing in a alarm control panel, just subscribe for the service. and get full utility of this entire service in a pretty hassle-free and without the headache of wondering, so when this technology changes and becomes better,
yes,
I have to go and buy something else.
Does it?
No. Get in touch with a partner
yes,
that can tell you, we will provide you the solution, and as the advancements happen, we will upgrade you as appropriate,
yes,
at very minimal expense or disturbance to you as a subscriber.
Pretty much. Are you also telling your customers then that, look here, you don't have to worry about the changing tech in this particular space, leave that to us?
Yes.
But for us, yes, there are there. You can go in and get them from any other service provider or any other security devices provider. But what we're going to do is make sure that you have the best and that we shall support you throughout that process. Hence, SGA service in that particular area. Is that what it is?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Pretty much. So the other question then becomes, do customers ask you for background check of these devices then that they're acquiring from you?
So SGA, we pride ourselves in being a tier 1 security company.
Yes.
Just looking at this home security solution, the one thing that we have deliberately chosen, the path we've taken, is we've been around for the last 55 years and want to be around for the next 100 plus years. You only put yourself in that situation when you can guarantee quality of service.
Does it?
And so we're not out to provide what I call cheap and cheerful equipment, the low end.
Yes.
In fact, the move we've taken is that if we can make available for our customers what will be otherwise pretty expensive equipment to purchase, but we make that high-end kit available at a reasonable price, and then walk that journey with our customer that, one, because the customer is actually not outright buying the equipment will always be mine.
Yes.
Or we then have an obligation to make sure that the customer has a working system.
Does it? Does it?
The customer also then gets to enjoy all the frills that come along with this working system, but the maintenance of it is my responsibility.
Yes.
If there's any breakdown, it's my responsibility. So if, like a car hire, if the system we've put in your house, the CCTV camera we've put in your house, in 8 months' time, for whatever reason, through normal wear and tear, there is a fault, simply go in, take out the faulty item, replace it with a new one. So the customer is guaranteed a working system through and through, and it's not the system that you'd walk down, and I don't mean to denigrate Luthuli Avenue, but it's not a system that you just go down Luthuli Avenue and walk into a shop and say, I want a home security solution, and they tell you, yeah, for normally a very small amount, have this, go and install it yourself, and you're good to go.
Yes. We
We are guaranteeing longevity of service
Does it?
And a high quality of service
Pretty
through
much.
and through. Yeah.
Guess what? Once we come back, Jackson, then your pain point is going to prove then what is the security devices that you're pushing to personal homeowners, that's for home safety. How do they ensure safety? How do they work? And for any other person who's listening and saying, well, I want this particular service, then what is that going to cost you? I also see in that there are questions of also on insurance in cases where this damages are actually extended to your company, because what you're saying is that we are offering a service, not the device. What damage do you take as a company as well? Those particular questions is going to talk into them in the second part of our conversation right there. And I do know some of those questions that are coming in, please get them coming as well. Our WhatsApp line is offered right there on your screen. The hashtag is Morning Drift. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kenya. Once we come back, what are these devices in home security that you need to have? Where are they going to be? How do you actually get them? And how does SGA then turn these devices into a service? Once we come back right here on the Morning Drift.
Buy Credo Chap Chap across all networks bila stress. Go to M-Pesa paybill number 33000 na uweke account number yako na namba ya simu that you want to recharge. It's quick, convenient and hassle-free. In just a few clicks, buy airtime, M-Pesa paybill 33000. Account your number to stay topped up and connected anytime, anywhere. Chap Chap. University of Nairobi is a distinguished institution of higher learning dedicated to nurturing your intellectual curiosity and pushing the boundaries of knowledge. From state-of-the-art laboratories to modern libraries equipped with the latest resources, we provide you with the tools you need to succeed. Choose from a wide range of programs designed to prepare you for challenges of tomorrow's world. Whether in STEM, humanities, business, or the arts, our strong industry connections and career service support will help you translate your education into meaningful career opportunities upon graduation. Join a vibrant community of scholars from around the world, fostering cultural exchange, collaboration, and lifelong friendships. Book your space now for September intakes. Log in to https://www.uonbi.ac.ke for a wide range of courses to choose from. You can also contact +254 020 491 0000 or email us at pr@ounbi.ac.ke.
And the winner of the 32nd edition, representing also the EMC, Weldon Langat.
Every time you play Lotto, 25% goes to the Lotto Foundation, which supports our fellow Kenyans through various causes. Thank you for your help. Together, we are changing lives.
Are you a junior secondary school, a college, a TVET institution, or a university, and you want to advertise your intake? Book now and advertise with us today on both Lookuptv and all our digital platforms. Call us today or email us on sales@lookuptv.co.ke.
That's it. So SGA is saying, protect your home, secure your future. That's the service that they're launching to you. So in respect to home security, now let's then talk about what devices these are, how you can get the service. I'm running away from getting the equipment because they don't want us to say get the equipment, what it's going to cost you, and how it's going to help you then protect your home. Now, Jackson, then let's jump into it then. I see here that there's no purchase of the equipment. Let's begin from that. What equipment are these that you're offering in the service, and why don't you want people to purchase the equipment?
Thank you, Simba. So what we are actually offering, and it goes back in line with that, we want this to be a service that we're offering our customers.
Yes.
So we have an intrusion detection or panic alarm system, and we have a CCTV system.
Yes.
One of the things that has always been a challenge with even the older systems was that if you look at the makeup of an alarm system, there is a control panel, which is the brains behind the system itself. There is then now what we call the peripheral devices, or the devices now that trigger the alarm. So we've spoken about the panic button, which is a manual intervention. You actually need to press it because you're in distress. You've heard something and you want to call for help. So there's the panic button. We've spoken about door contacts. So these are normally devices that you'll put on doors. It can be a gate, it can be your front door, a balcony door, that when the system is armed, and that door is opened, it triggers an alarm. We say the system is armed because at that point, you as a subscriber you've either gone to bed or you've left your home. So anybody who's opening that door, it's not you. It's an intrusion. So you want the system to automatically trigger an alarm. And then there are other devices, motion detectors as well, is another peripheral device. So those work in spaces where if there is movement in that space, it triggers the alarm.
Yes.
And then we add a few other things, a smoke detector in a kitchen or a heat detector. So if you're away from home or you're sleeping and there's a fire in the kitchen, the smoke will trigger the smoke detector. So all these things would be connected via cable to a control panel. Now, I know in our homes, aesthetics is one of the things that is very important. People actually pay a lot of attention to. But also, unfortunately, people think about the security system as an afterthought. So someone has gone and actually built a house, or they've moved into a rented property, they've painted the walls, they've put in their wallpaper, mounted all the devices, and they remember, oh, we forgot the alarm system.
Yeah.
But now they're going to come and put surface cabling, surface trunking all over our nicely painted wall. It's an inconvenience they're not willing to live with, and so they say it's okay, let's just ditch the alarm system. Or if it's an absolute necessity, you end up with this grotesque system that you actually is an eyesore for you. You see it every day for design.
That's what your eyes look at.
So you look at this nice fascia wall, but then there's some trunking or a cable running on the surface, and it spoils it. So the devices that we provide are actually completely wireless. And they actually look quite nice ergonomically as well. So it's not an eyesore, and it's not obtrusive. You can actually walk past the door and miss the device. That is how they blend into the environment. So we've gone with completely wireless equipment. So that does two things. One, even with ease of installation, we're normally in and out of a house depending on the package, and we'll speak briefly about the packages. Within 45 minutes to an hour. We're in, we've done the installation, and we're out.
Pretty much. Another question that you're going to get, I know once you come in and then I decide that I'm going to get this service, are there customers who tell you that I only need this system in this particular area? Is that a thing that you do for them as well? Or the package has this offering, and so you're going to allow us do that in your entire property because it's as you know exactly how this is going to help you?
So the way we've designed the system is that it's modular.
Yes.
And so we have the, I don't call it the basic package, but the smallest form of the package is what we call Safe Home, which is just a panic button only solution. And then next up is what we call Safe Home Plus. So Safe Home is just panic buttons, 4 panic buttons, 2 what we call remote key fobs, which is a mobile panic button. You can actually walk around with your house, and 1 CCTV camera. But you can then go the next step up, which is Safe Home Plus. So Safe Home Plus now is not just about the panic button solution. It includes now the intrusion detection, the magnetic contacts, the smoke detector, more cameras, 4 cameras. The system is modular in the sense that you start off with 1 camera, you can build it to 4. And then beyond Safe Home Plus, we're now going to Safe Home Custom, which is now where your requirements are greater than what is available in Safe Home and Safe Home Plus. We actually now build a system around what the size of your home, what your needs are. So the equipment deployed is very specific to what your specific home looks like.
That is on custom, isn't it?
On Safe Home Custom.
Yes. And I know you're going to run into the question of, what if I have 2 houses within the same property? Does that take me to Safe Home Custom?
Again, depending on, like I said, they're wireless devices, so there's also an issue of signal range and so on, although the solution is actually quite robust. We're able to address all those. So if you have the same person, 2 houses within the same compound, we could probably design a larger system to accommodate both. So what you'll be paying is 1 fixed monthly subscription. And let me go back and you asked about service. The thing is, the customer never buys the equipment. So irrespective of the size of this system, we'll provide the equipment at our cost. And we also install it at our cost. So from a whether you need 8 cameras or so many door contacts on the Safe Home custom package, irrespective of whatever package the customer selects,
Yes.
the customer does not buy the equipment. We'll provide the equipment at our cost. We will install it at our cost. All the other services that are plugged into a normal alarm system, so the response service, all that is, the customer pays one fixed monthly fee. And that one fixed monthly fee, the service subscription fee, the same way you subscribe for DSTV, for your Wi-Fi, the same way you'll hire the guard and pay a fixed amount every month. So you now have an alarm system available to you where you subscribe and say, I would like to have this alarm system.
Yes.
Based on the construct of my house. This is, and a lot of the times actually we'll come and do a survey and advise, okay, based on, if it's beyond just the basic panic button system, everything else will normally come and do a survey and say, okay, you say you want a motion sensor here, but based on our experience, no, we can replace this. You actually don't require that.
Yes.
We build a system for the specific house.
Yes.
And all the customer is paying is a fixed monthly fee. So we'll provide the equipment.
Yes.
We will install the equipment at no cost. We'll provide the preventive maintenance and keep the system going. And the response service, and response is actually very important. You can go and buy an alarm system. You'll put in the motion detector, you'll put in the panic buttons. But if the control panel is not linked, if the signals do not go to an alarm response company to actually respond to any events, then
useless.
What you have is a scarecrow.
Doesn't.
Because if there's no one coming to help, and the burglars, the thieves nowadays, they're also intelligent. If all they know is if the alarm is activated, the siren will probably go off for 30 seconds, for a minute, but there's actually no external help coming. All they have to do is just, in fact, oftentimes if they know that, they won't even stop. They'll carry on and do what they're doing because they know that there is no external support. All they have to deal with is just the occupants in the house. So the response service is actually the most critical part of this whole solution, that at your point of need or distress, you can actually get someone to come in and support.
Yes.
SGA, our response teams, will normally have our own crew, but we also have police in the vehicle as well. Oftentimes, if you're responding to this, most domestic activations are happening at night. There's a break-in, so you have burglars that are armed in one form or another.
Yes.
So our team will respond with police as well, so that we can provide comprehensive response and address the security threat comprehensively and conclusively. So the response part is also important. So under this one fixed monthly subscription fee, you have equipment provided, it's been installed, the response service is included. But then we also take this beyond just now the security threat. So our packages come with 2 elements, and you asked about, you spoke about insurance, and we'll speak about that.
Yes.
But even before we get to the insurance, there's an element that very many people overlook, which is medical emergency response. That not all activations are because of a security threat. In our typical home dwelling, you will find that as we go about, child will trip up and knock their head on the corner of the table, and so they have a cut on their forehead, or the nanny was doing something in the kitchen and she burnt herself or she cut herself, or there is a medical emergency of sorts. So our platform comes with 24/7 countrywide medical emergency response.
And that is countrywide.
Countrywide.
For any other person who's got your service, that is.
So as long as you're a subscriber.
Yes.
And I spoke about having peace of mind whilst at home, but also when you're away from home.
Yes.
So once you subscribe onto this service, we have partnered with a medical emergency response provider that provides services countrywide. So if you're at home and you have a medical issue, so in the past, would you have either called your hospital or bundled the person into a vehicle to go to hospital, or called for an ambulance, hoping that there'll be one available to come and provide the medical evacuation or response. So we have actually gone in and seen that when we look at the trail of activations that we've actually had from the customers that we have, a number of those activations actually are not security in nature, they are medical in nature. So someone has cut themselves. Okay. They'll press a panic button because you're looking for assistance at that point.
Also.
The thing about medical response is you want it to be as quickly and as timely as possible. So on our platform, on our home security solution, what we're saying is, if what you have is a medical emergency, not a security emergency, press a medical button. So our platform is all controlled, and I spoke about the subscriber requiring a smartphone. So we have a customized app that we then, once we install the system, we direct our customer to download the app, and based on their account, they're able to log in, and that gives them now access to a mobile panic button, a medical emergency button. So if you have a medical emergency issue, press the medical emergency button, and we get the signal in our control room, but it also goes to the medical emergency response dispatch center. And what they do is they will send you an ambulance with trained paramedics, and what they do, they triage the situation. So this requires hospitalization. They'll actually walk that journey with you up until you tell us which is your preferred hospital. We'll get you there. Or if it's a burn, a small burn or a cut, they'll actually just patch you up there and then and beyond. Yes. So what would others have taken a long, would have been a long, onerous process, is quelled within a very simple, short period of time, and appropriate response is given to the event. The reason I say it's countrywide is you subscribe, you have your house in Karen or in Lavington or in Lolongo, and the service we offer is for your house, but whilst you're on the road. So you're on Mombasa Road, on the Nakuru-Naivasha Highway, and you have a small road traffic accident. And there is a cut, or it could also be a serious accident. And medical response is required immediately. Yes. So press the medical button, and we will send an ambulance to where you are and provide medical emergency response where you are. Yes. So by subscribing onto what was a security, a home security service, you also now get countrywide medical emergency response.
And this is you working with your client, that we have a response element. Yes. We're very good at responding, so we're going to respond to you if indeed you need any sort of help, isn't
Correct.
it? Yes. Now, let's talk about the packages then. I'm looking at this service that you don't need to purchase equipment. There's no installation fee. Swift alarm response, medical response is there as well. We're going to talk about insurance after this. How much does it cost me on the packages, and what bouquets am I talking about?
Okay.
Yes.
So we have three offerings. Safe Home is our panic button solution. So for that, you get a control panel. You get 4 panic buttons, fixed panic buttons. So we'll normally locate this in the bedrooms, maybe around the kitchen area or a common living area, where you have access to the panic button, and then you'll get 2 key fobs, which are mobile panic buttons that you can walk around with, and then you also get 1 CCTV camera. That is the Safe Home, which is the basic package. Yes. For that, what you're paying is $84.99. It's our introductory offer. It's about 7,300 plus VAT. We have to pay the VAT because
we gotta pay taxes.
Yes, we have to pay our taxes. It's about 7,300.
Yes.
To subscribe, what we ask our customers to we also want to have people who are serious about wanting this service. So the point of subscription, what you pay is a refundable deposit, equal to 2 months of that monthly subscription. So it's 16,000 shillings or thereabouts at the point of subscription as a refundable deposit, meaning that it's actually, you're not buying any equipment. At the end of the contract, should you choose to terminate, it's money that we recover equipment and we'll give you back your deposit. Or it can be used towards the last 2 months installments at the end of contract. Not at the beginning, at the end of the contract. Yes. So you'll pay a refundable deposit of 16,000. Yes. And go through our subscription wizard. And it's as simple as that. We'll select an installation date that is convenient. We come do the installation. Yes. And once we hand over the system, we give you our customized app on your smart device. and we start. You start paying the monthly on a monthly basis every month after that. So you have the use of that system. Within that $84.99
yes.
is also the response service. And the interesting thing is this: most of our other providers, you'll find, will have you buy the equipment, and you'll then pay about the same 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, even 10,000 monthly for just a response service. So having bought the equipment at your expense, they will then still come and connect their signal device and charge you 7,000 or 8,000 for the response service. Okay. If a device breaks down, it's yours. You bought it, so it will be at your expense to replace it.
Yes.
If you want preventive maintenance, that's additionally at your cost. So with us, for the 8499, it's inclusive of the response, it's inclusive of the equipment, it's inclusive of preventive maintenance, and replacement of any device that becomes faulty from normal wear and tear. All you're paying is that one fixed monthly fee. But like I said, you also get the medical emergency response countrywide, and there's the insurance component. So for our subscribers, we've also gone and partnered with a reputable insurance company. So we provide home contents cover. So if there is a break-in into your house and contents are lost,
yes.
So under the Safe Home package, we provide home contents cover up to 750,000 shillings. So if the TV was taken, or a laptop, a tablet was taken, the insurance company will actually compensate you for the contents, not the building itself, but the contents. Yes, up to 750,000.
Yes.
The next step up from Safe Home is Safe Home Plus. And I said that our packages are modular. So from Safe Home Plus, you get the control panel. You have the siren and strobe is standard even for Safe Home. You get the 4 panic buttons that were also there in Safe Home. You get the 2 key fobs, the mobile panic buttons. But then you also get 4 magnetic contacts. So we now want to monitor intrusion as well. So our platform, most people say, no, I don't have a huge mansion in Runda, so this is not for me. No, the solution works even in, I've had the solution in a 4-bedroom apartment, in a 3-bedroom apartment, in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Does that?
The magnetic contacts, so all the external doors, the balcony doors, the front door, a side door, so we'll put the contacts on those doors, so that if there is opening of those doors, yes. One system is armed, then it'll trigger an alarm. And then we also provide a smoke detector in the kitchen. So that's a Safe Home Plus package. And then Safe Home, we had 1 CCTV camera. Safe Home Plus, you have 4 cameras. So you can cover your front door, you can cover your parking area, you can cover your laundry area, the access to the servants' quarter, your back garden. You actually have a full CCTV system.
Yes, sir.
And all this is managed, or you have control of this system from your app. And like I said, dad can have it, mom can have it, the kids can have it, so that wherever, basically the entire family has control of the security solution in their homestead.
Yes.
Now, the safety away from home is that if I have, and in fact I remember there's one incident where I happened to be in South Africa at the time, and I got a notification on my phone. It showed smoke detector. So naturally, I quickly go into my phone, and I have chosen to have a camera in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And yes, the nanny had, I don't know what she was doing with some cooking oil, and it had caused some smoke. I was able to very quickly establish that my house wasn't on fire, and I could see exactly what had transpired, whilst I was several thousand kilometers away.
Yes.
And we're saying the peace of mind whilst you're at home and away from home is there. I know very many parents, especially with young kids, you want to know, oh, has my kid been dropped home from school? Depending on where you put the cameras, you'll just go in and play back if it's a front door. Oh yeah, child is home. Or I asked for a package to be delivered. You've been called, so-and-so is delivering the package. You go into your app, the camera overlooking the front door, confirm, yeah, actually that's the right delivery guy, and they're delivering the right thing. So you're seeing what's happening at home, even when you're away from home. And should you then, in that process, encounter something that you feel is untoward, you also have a panic button on your mobile device. So when you press it, it's as though you are activating the panic button whilst you are at home.
That's it.
And we will see where you are based on the GPS coordinates of where we received the alarm from. And we'll call you and we'll say, yeah, Simba, we noticed you pressed the panic button. You're not at home. Are you okay? And you'll say, I've seen something that is not right at home. Please, we'll dispatch the vehicle to the house.
Yes.
So that's the service that we have. From Safe Home Plus insurance, insurance perspective,
Yes.
so Safe Home, the contents cover was 750,000.
Yes.
For Safe Home Plus, it's 1.5 million.
That's it.
So if you lose your sofa set for whatever reason, even that can be replaced within the parameters of the insurance cover.
Yes.
But there's 1.5 million for the home contents cover, the insurance cover. Safe Home Custom is now one that we built. So Safe Home Plus is 13,599. Again, VAT inclusive. It's about 11,000 per month. That's basically what you're paying. Again, to subscribe, at the point of registration, all we ask of the customer is to pay a refundable deposit equivalent to 2 months of that subscription. So it's about 27,000 as a one-off, as a refundable deposit at the point of registration.
Yes.
Safe Home Custom is one now that we build. So the requirement is greater than whatever is available under Safe Home and Safe Home Plus. So let's say you require 8 cameras, you have maybe more than 4 external doors, more balcony doors, for instance. So we actually now come and build a system.
Yes.
And so based on the quantum of equipment that needs to be installed, we'll now then come back and work out a monthly fee for you. We'll share that with you. If you're comfortable, then again, you go on to the normal monthly subscription service.
So this one is essentially on visit, and once you've done your ground study, for even guys who have now probably multiple homes that they want to protect, isn't it?
You can actually have multiple homes, but if, for example, if you have an apartment in Kilimani, that's probably maybe a Safe Home package that you'd want there. You have a townhouse in Runda, that might be Safe Home Plus. Maybe a second home in Runda, which is much bigger. It might be a Safe Home Custom. So you can actually have different packages for different residences.
Yes.
So each one is treated as independent. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, we have 45 seconds to clear this particular conversation. I mean, last time I spoke to you, you were in this particular business before you completely figured out what your home safety security is going to look like. Is there a next step for SGA, for a company that is always morphing and figuring out where do we need to go next? What is the next step?
There is, and we're looking at both the residential and the commercial space, because we do play in both spaces.
Yes.
Just going back to the home security solution, even that it's like I said, it's modular, so we'll keep providing updates, expanding the features that are available.
Yes.
Again, at minimal expense to the customer, because whatever we add on, as opposed to the customer having to buy or incurring the full cost of the capital expenditure, for us it will come as a very small operating expense kind of commercial model. So we'll continue expanding on the Safe Home side. On the commercial side also, there's many other initiatives that we're running with within the financial services sector,
yes,
within the hospitality sector. So even those, we're constantly evolving. Like we said, we like understanding our customers' needs, trying to preempt some of those needs and come up with solutions,
yes,
but also just attend to life challenges that they're facing. So what is a customer could be trying to rack their brain on how to address from a security perspective, they should reach out to us.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no better way than to talk about home security other than the man who's in the business himself, been in a company that has been in this space for 55 plus years. So you can say they've seen it, they've been in it, and they're doing it all. That's what he's saying. Talk to us. Guess what? Talk to us as well if you want to be linked up to SGA on this special area of home security. And they're saying that indeed, if you protect your home, what you're essentially doing is protecting your future as well. Whew. Jackson, thank you very much for coming by. Online at Lookuptv, across all your social media platforms, the hashtag is The Morning Drift. Let the conversation get online. I'll see you tomorrow for another session as well. Goodbye.